presidency has faulted the opposition of the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, that the federal government was taking value-added tax VAT from the south to service states in the north. The president's special assistant on public affairs, Ajuri Ngalale, said while appearing on Channels Television Sunrise program yesterday that the bulk of VAT income is being generated by the federal government. According to him, the highest percentage of VAT comes from ports, which is owned by the federal government, irrespective of the fact that they are located in the southern part of Nigeria. He also argued that the federal government contracts awarded by ministers, departments of agencies, MDAs in Abuja yield the second largest volume of VAT. Ngalale said, "I do disagree on the notion that states are by themselves generating VAT en masse and the federal government is trying to hijack it. In 2020, the nation generated about 1.5 trillion naira in VAT. We have about 60% of VAT coming from imports at the port. As we know, port infrastructure in the country is not controlled by the state government, so they cannot say that it is their revenue. It is controlled by the federal government. It is federal revenue. Aside from the fact that we have a book coming from imports, we also have that second to Lagos is Abuja with about 202 billion naira collected, and the reason why is because Abuja is the site of federal ministries, departments and agencies, and a huge bulk of that collection in the country was coming from VAT collected on contracts. So when we create the impression that states collect this VAT and the federal government is hijacking it and trying to share it, when in fact it is only belongs to Lagos or Rivers, I think it is a gross oversimplification. For him, the collection of VAT by the FIRS should be encouraged because it is perfecting the union of Nigeria. Really? Perfecting the union of Nigeria? Anything that will perfect our union should be embraced. Any conversation, any serious-minded discussion around how resources are managed is healthy for the country. The president's aide, who said the VAT issue has been heavily politicized, also complained about some of the utterances, unfortunately, that have come from my state along ethnic lines and political posturing ahead of the next election. Continuing, he said, "I really don't want to repeat some of the stuff we have heard from the River State governor that we want to take Niger Delta money to the north and all this ethnic sabre rattling. That is what I am talking about when I say politics." He further berated Wike, who he said confirmed in January 2021 that the federal government had refunded to the state government 78 billion naira is spent on federal projects, even though he was not sure the projects were constructed by Wike. Have they returned the money? There are those who, despite collecting tens of billions of naira from this administration in form of refund for federal roads that they did not even construct in their state, and you still have these claims coming out trying to abuse the federal government because of political reasons, Ngalale said. So some of the things you didn't even investigate, so you always give them money. You don't even know whether they constructed this and you're even implicating yourself. Then if that is the case, because the only thing is just for you are talking about one Nigeria, then so does it mean the court is not aware of that the court now ruled in favor of that the state should be collecting the VAT? So what is this man telling us? Is this how we say we are a federal country, that we run a federalism whatever government? So is this how it ought to be done? Because you are talking what you don't understand. This Ngalale. He also acknowledged that there are gray areas in the collection of VAT in the country and warned that such move by Wike could amount to double taxation. I think you should go and hold the court that granted that judgment. You should go and not even Wike. Wike own is to present it. He presented it, whether politics or whatever. That is not what we are talking about. If Wike himself, if he do anyhow, definitely we see anyhow, people will still give it back to him. But we are talking about what is important now. So Wike's position is to present it before the court, and court ruled in favor of that. And you are telling us Wike is trying to shortchange or to do what. But the reason why this guy is talking is to unite the country together. What does the constitution say? Well, he, however, called for better clarification on who should collect taxes between the central and sub-national governments. The president's aide, the issue may not be clearly stated in the constitution, but on the other hand, it would be wrong to say that because we have a VAT Act that was enacted by the National Assembly. I am optimistic that now that the matter is in court, the judiciary will serve justice on the case. Fortunately for us, it is now a judicial process, and we are very much expectant that the outcome of the law will reflect the law that we have, which until now states have no business abiding in it. I believe our court system will do justice to the matter, Ngelale said. Recall that the Rivers State governor had lamented the injustice in the distribution of federal revenue, saying that Rivers money is not for Abuja people and not for the FIRS to courts, and want the right to VAT collection within its territory. The governor went a step further to sign the state VAT bill into law last month, and it was passed by the Rivers State House of Assembly. In the same vein, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu WIKE followed suit by signing the state VAT bill into law a day after it was passed by the Lagos State House of Assembly. Also last week, the Lagos State government requested that it joined as a respondent alongside Rivers in the appeal filed by the the FIRS challenging the judgment of the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, which ruled that Rivers should commence VAT collection. But Justice Aruna Samani, now there be that, of the appeal court ruled that all parties should remain status quo and adjourned to September 16th to hear the application by Lagos. It is a known fact that Lagos and Rivers generate the bulk of the total monthly VAT in the country, but get about 20% of the money made through federal allocation. So Ngelale just say talking nonsense. If the seaport oil week is controlled by federal, why is Zamfara state is in control of the gold found in the state? These two supposed to be controlled by the federal government, not the state. If any state is given the rights to control their mineral resources, all the states must have rights to control whatever is found in their domain. We can all pay tax to the center. Don't mind the narrow-minded people who can't see beyond their nose. All what the North wants is to contribute nothing into the national purse, but to control the resources mainly from the South for the selfish benefit of the North and the Fulani killer S-men from the entire Africa. There shall be no peace for the wicked. Good morning, Mr. Ngelale. I haven't gone through your comments severally. It is clear that you were taking on what you do not, or talking on what you do not even understand. If you go to first principles, you have to appreciate that VAT is in total a consumption tax. It is levied on goods or services where the final consumer is located. That is why VAT is paid on beer produced in Lagos, for example, by the consumer domiciled at a located and say Ibadan for Benin or even Onitsha. Such consumer bears the VAT burden because he or she is the final consumer or final user of the goods and services that are VAT-able. That is why no VAT income on beer taken to and delivered at Kano but destroyed by Isba police escape VAT income. The same beer taken to anywhere in the south and consumed by drinkers, beer drinkers, and VAT income. Only you can explain why you have made the straightforward understanding of this VAT principles so confusing and high sounding. At best, you left your audience utterly confused rather than delivering a clear cut message to dig holes. Iyesan, Wike, and Sanwo-Olu cases on the VAT fraud of the federal government, you made them shine like stars that they are by resorting to unhelpful, becalling and abuse. Would you also expect the Lagos State a citadel of law that hold the haze in law practice in this climb will join the VAT fraud without being sure of themselves. You made no point, but let's wait for the wise men upstairs to interpret the strange VAT concept you labored to explain. Oh my goodness.